Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1 through 15. For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. What gain has the worker from his toil? I have seen the business that God has given to the children of man to be busy with. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Also, He has put eternity into man's heart, yet so that he cannot find out what God has done from the beginning to the end. I perceived that there is nothing better for them than to be joyful and to do good as long as they live. Also that everyone should eat and drink and take pleasure in all his toil. This is God's gift to man. I perceived that whatever God does endures forever. Nothing can be added to it, nor anything taken from it. God has done it, so that people fear before Him. That which is already has been. That which is to be already has been. And God seeks what has been driven away. In today's passage, the teacher summarizes his observation and experience of life. In life, as observed by Koheleth, there is a time for everything, and this is by the will of God. Beyond what humans can control, God has allowed for seasons of life so that through the temporal existence, humans will begin to seek out the eternal. In observing this, Koheleth concludes that no human effort will last, but only which God has allowed to endure will endure forever. This, observed by Koheleth, is so that the people may fear God. The conclusion that the teacher arrives comes from observing life and experiencing what life offers. As a son of David and a king of Israel, he had the wisdom of God available for him at a moment's notice. However, he chose to try and find answers to life apart from God, only to arrive where he started, back to the presence of God. The author of Proverbs teaches us the opposite course of what Koheleth took. The words of wisdom teach us to remain steadfast in God's teaching and direction. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 21 to 26 says, "My son, do not lose sight of these. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, and they will be life for your soul and adornment for your neck. Then you'll walk on your way securely, and your foot will not stumble. If you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Do not be afraid of sudden terror or of the ruin of the wicked when it comes, for the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught." If we draw away from God, we will be swept away by the seasons of life and will begin to struggle with what life throws at us. But when we remain in the wisdom of God and not turn away from them, God works in our lives to bring safety and security. Let us remain before the grace of our Lord and find His security reign in our lives.